Hey there, in this video I'm going to teach you how to play B.Y.O.B by System of a Down in standard tuning in the original key. A while ago I did a cover of this, and on that video a bunch of people asked me to make a tutorial for it and a tab, so here it is. Please download the tab in the description below and let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to start off with this intro riff. I warn you, this is very hard to play in standard tuning, at least it is for me. So much so that I actually skipped the riff when I made the video. I kind of cheated a bit, but I'll show you how to play it slowly. And if you're a better guitarist than me, then you might be able to pull it off. So you're going to start off with this riff. You're going to play 3 times. Okay, so it's that 3 times in a row. Okay, so I'm on the 9th fret of the low E string, and then I'm bouncing off the 11th fret on the A string, and then moving up to the 12th fret. So it's 11 down to 9, 11, 9, 9, 12, 9, 9, 11, 9, 9, 11. So really slowly. And then it repeats again, so. Okay, I'll attempt it fast. Okay, it's a bit sloppy. So after you've done it 3 times, you repeat the tail end part 3 times as well. So the whole intro riff slowly will be like this. Then you just got to try and speed it up, and good luck to you. Then we're at the main riff of the song, which is a bit easier, fortunately, and it goes like this. Okay, so we're starting on the 9th fret on the low E string. We're gonna hit it and slide down. And then most of the riff is bouncing between the 4th fret and the 5th fret on the low E string. So there's these dead notes that are in between, and you'll find that these dead notes are throughout this entire version of the song because we don't have the low string to sort of chug off of. So we gotta have something in between. So I'm just simply just fretting the 4th fret but not pressing it. So I'm just touching it. Yeah, sometimes you get these harmonics, but when you're playing really fast, you don't really notice it so much. So you're gonna slide down for the 9th fret, and you're gonna hit these 2 dead notes in between. And then you're gonna go up to the 5th fret, 2 dead notes in between, and then down to the 4th fret, 2 dead notes in between, then 5th fret, 2 dead notes in between, then 4th. So the whole riff played slowly, that first part goes like this. Okay. And you speed it up. And then the second time round, you do the same start. And then you're gonna go to these power chords, which is the 6th fret on the A string and the 8th fret on the D string. So, and you move that shape up from the 6th fret, 7th fret, and 9th fret along the A string. So the first time round together goes like this. And then the second time, it's the same thing. It's just the ending is different. It's reverse on the power chords. You're just going to go backwards. So you're going to go 9, 7, 6. So. And then you do that whole thing 2 times round. So the entire main riff goes like this. Then we're into the verse. So moving on to the first verse, there's a lot of similar frets here, a lot of the 4th fret and 5th fret on the low string, and similar power chord shapes to the main riff, but the rhythm's different and the time signature's different. It's a different tempo. So I'll play what the first half of the verse sounds like at full speed, and then we'll break it down. Okay, so you're kind of bouncing between the 4 and the 5 with these dead notes in between. And then you do the same thing again, but it's a bit shorter. And those power chords, the first one's the 7th fret, and the second time it's 9, 7, 6. So. And you repeat that 2 times. Then the second half of the verse, you play for a lot longer on the 4 and 5 before doing the power chords, so it's sort of like drawn out a little bit. Sounds like this. And that's the end of the verse that leads into the pre-chorus. So it's literally just 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, etc. over and over again until you hit that 7th fret power chord on the A string. And then at the end, we do 9, 7, 6, but we do them as these fuller chords. So we're going to bar across the 9th fret on the low E and A strings, and then have the 11th fret on the D string. So you could do it like this as well. And you're going to move that shape down to the 7th fret and then down to the 6th fret. So the end of the verse leading into the pre-chorus goes like this. So that last one's very quick. Then we're at the first pre-chorus, which sounds like this. Okay, so let me break it down. You're going to start off on the 7th fret on the low E and A strings barred across. You're going to be using this shape a lot throughout this pre-chorus. So it's going to go 7, 6, 4 on the bottom strings, and you're going to palm mute the 7 and 6 and release the 4 into a normal strum. So it sounds like this. Okay. Then you hit the 4 again. So. And then we have this palm muted sort of run of notes here. So it's going to go 4, 6, 7, 9, 7, 6, 4, 6, 4. So. Okay. So far we have. And then that's going to release into the next set of power chords, which is the 7th fret on the low E string and the 9th fret on the A string. And you hit that twice open. So we have this so far. Then we have another little run here, which sounds like this. And that is 4th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret palm muted on the low E string. And then you're going to go backwards and go 7, 6, 4 on the A string, but not palm muted. So the whole first half of the pre-chorus together goes like this slowly. The second half starts the same. And then we're going to change this part here. So that starts off on the 4th fret barred across on the low strings. And then you move to the 4th fret barred across the A and D string. And you start the run of 4, 6, 7, 6, 4, 2, 4, 2, and then you're going to release to 1. So that whole run goes like this, slowly. And then you're going to do a bend on the 2nd fret. You're going to bend up a tone. And you're going to add some vibrato at the end. So it's quite a wide bend down there. So the whole pre-chorus put together goes like this slowly. And So we're now at the first chorus of the song, and it sounds like this. Okay, so you're going to start off on the 4th fret, barred across the low 2 strings again, and this whole chorus is palm muted pretty much until the end sort of 2 notes. So you're going to do on the 4th fret, you're going to do this rhythm, and then you move to the 2nd fret and 4th fret on the A and D strings power chord and do the same rhythm. Then you move back to where you were and do it again. But this time, then you're going to do the same run that we did at the end of the pre-chorus, the one that goes like this. With the bend at the end and the vibrato. So the whole chorus slowly sounds like this. And you do that 2 times in a row. So the second verse is kind of like the first verse swapped around or reversed, I guess. So it starts off with the long version of the riff and then goes to the short version of the riff as opposed to the other way around. So it's a bit like this. Let me demonstrate. Okay, so just the long version of the 4 to 5, and then with the same power chords as we had before, and it ends the same as the first verse with the chunky power chords on the low string that leads you right into the pre-chorus. So the second pre-chorus is exactly the same as the first pre-chorus, and the second chorus is the same riff as the first chorus, it's just double the amount. So in the first chorus you do it 2 times, but in the second chorus, you do it 4 times. And at the end of the second chorus, when you do, it cuts straight into this fast section, which is going to be the middle part. So you got to be prepared for that because it's going to have a random tempo jump sort of out of nowhere, so to speak. So we're now at the middle 8 section. This has a completely different feel and rhythm change. It's kind of the punky section of the song where Darren sings. It's broken down into sort of 2 separate sections. So I'll do the first section, which goes like this. Okay, so it's just the same riff 8 times round, and it's slowly like this. Starts on the 2nd fret. This is all on the low E string, by the way. 2nd fret, you kind of hit it and slide up to the 4th fret, and you're going to go bounce between the 4th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, and then back down to the 2nd. So slowly it goes like this. And with this hand, you're just picking constantly like this. Okay, so I'll do it even slower. Okay, so it's just that riff 8 times in a row. All right, now the second half of the riff is a bit trickier to play. I'll break it down slowly for you. So it's going to be the 4th fret on the A string and the 6th fret on the D string power chord. And you're going to be strumming that like that. So, and then we're going to do the 5th fret on the low E string as a single note. Okay, so. And then we're going to go 6th fret on the A string, 4th fret on the low E string. So it's the same as the intro riff we did, but just on the 4th fret instead of the 9th fret. So we're doing the same sort of bounce in between 6, 4, 6, 4, 7, 6, 4. like that. Okay, so you do this 4 times in a row. Okay, so you do that 4 times, and then after you've done it 4 times, you repeat the tail end of the riff 2 more times. And then there's a bar of silence when Darren screams, and then you go back to the verse after that. So the third verse is exactly the same as the second verse. So it's the long version of the riff first, and then the short version of the riff, like this. Then we're into the pre-chorus again. So the pre-chorus is the same as the first 2 pre-choruses. The third chorus is a little bit different. It's kind of like 3.5 times. So you do 3 times of the main bit. Do that 3 times, and then you just do the first half before it switches again to the outro. So you just do this at the end. So it just changes right there, sort of almost out of nowhere. Now we're at the final section, the outro. So this is a little bit like the second half of the middle 8 with a slight variation at the end. So you do the same 4th fret power chord down to the 5th fret single string, and then that tricky riff. You do that whole thing 4 times. So that you do 4 times, and then you do the tail end of the riff 2 times, and you do this sort of slide thing. So you're going to go up to the 16th fret and do a chromatic slide all the way down, like. So I'm just constantly picking while sliding down, and then you get to the very final bit, which is just this tricky riff. And you do that 8 times, and then you finish, and that's it.